don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to...
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. Today we have a special interview with Mr. Kendall Hollywood Jackson here this afternoon. Mr. Four-star defensive lineman. Kendall, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Right now, yesterday, we tried to get an interview on Tuesday. Later on, you had some practice going on, so obviously you got some summer ball going right now for you, getting ready for your senior season. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And how's that been going for you, man? It's hot. It's getting warm out there, man.
It's hot. This morning we had we were doing the RDLs and stuff like that. Later on, we had our conditioning coach time we could do speed running. It felt like torture. Had doing like 840s and just running.
And you're located in Gainesville. You're Buchholz, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Gainesville. People who've been to the swamp. Most people who watch this show, they've been to the swamp. They know what it's all about. It gets steamy out there in Gainesville. Quick little thing. A lot of my family went to Buchholz in Gainesville, so I'm very familiar with them. Told my mom that I was talking with. She got all excited because she went to Buchholz. So she's like, "Oh, that's nice." So pretty cool stuff to have that connection, man. But hey, we're happy to have you on here and talk about kind of what you got going on. So you're down to your top 6, right?
Yes, sir.
Your top 6 being it's Florida, Texas, Mississippi State, Miami. Miami's in that list, right?
Yes, sir.
And then who am I missing?
Ole Miss in Kentucky.
Ole Miss in Kentucky. And you've already visited Kentucky, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how was your visit at Kentucky?
I had a great time there. It was a great visit. Getting to watch them scrimmage. So I just got to get the whole practice day of how they go through their scrimmage, and it was a great day overall.
Okay, good stuff. Obviously, you've been to Florida a few times with that being in your backyard. What other official visits do you have left for this summer that you got coming up?
So this week I'll be visiting Arkansas.
Okay.
Then in order, I'll be hitting up Kentucky, then Miami.
Okay. And so, do you have a date yet for your announcement?
I don't necessarily have a specific date, but I wanted to commit first week of August.
Okay, so you're going to go through your process then and make sure you get all your visits. So it kind of allows some insight on this too, because I think with the new era of NIL and with the unlimited official visits, right, it's changing the landscape a little bit. And you're seeing guys commit early, right, because they want to build the process, but also seeing then, hey, I really wanted to take my visits. Is that kind of where your mindset is right now of like, look, I'm really enjoying this process?
Yes, sir. Yeah, just want to take my visits and to make sure I'm picking the right school, because I talked to a lot of the former players, like college players, NFL players, and they said the biggest mistake was taking one OV and then committing off of that. So,
really, that's very interesting. Okay, so you spoke with some NFL guys and some college guys. Any names in particular that we could you could drop on us? Let us know. That's really good advice.
For one, my biological dad used to play in the NFL and college.
Okay.
My uncle.
Your uncle played at Florida, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, good stuff. So they would make sure you want to go through and take all of your visits and really soak all of it in because, again, have you felt any pressure, no name for the schools, but any pressure to, hey, we want you to commit today, or have the schools been respectful of, like, we understand you want to go and get all your visits in?
No, all the schools have been pretty much respectful of my decision.
Cool, good stuff. Now, you were there this past weekend at Florida, correct, for the big recruiting weekend? We've been tabbing it as Jubilee weekend here because it was just such a big weekend. How was it, man? Everyone wants to know kind of how it went. Obviously, we saw it from the outside looking in. It seemed like it was an incredible time. And this is not your first visit, but your first official visit with all this noise. How did it compare to those other visits, and how did it just compare in general? And did it blow you out of the water than what you were expecting? Couple layer question there.
It was a great time. Yes, I wasn't expecting that weekend to go how it went. To be a local kid and been there so many times, I wasn't expecting it to be such a great time, man.
Cool.
Learned the things I learned. Definitely loved it because most importantly, they treated me like I wasn't a local kid, and then that's what really That's what I really liked about that visit, the whole visit and the whole aspect of everything. As far as like the other visits, like the unofficial visits I've been to at Florida,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely been a step up. Definitely surprising, definitely eye opening, and it was a great time.
That's interesting to hear you say, because you being there so many times, being a hometown kid, it's easy to feel just kind of like it's normal. It's no new thing. To be able to go and it feel completely different, that speaks volumes, right? And for you to feel like, hey, like I'm getting away, I'm going somewhere big and having this great experience. I love hearing that. It's good. I mean, as a Gator fan, I'm excited to hear that you had a good time. Were you able, Dave? He wasn't able to make it today, but he wanted to ask: were you able to? Did you see Billy in his Maybach? Obviously, that was
Yeah,
trending. Did you get a ride
yeah.
with him, or were you just hanging out? Were you close next to him?
I think I was probably one of the first recruits, probably riding it. But
Really?
yeah, after we had lunch and we had dinner actually, and hold on, let me see, I'm trying to think. We had lunch and it went from lunch to the photo shoot, and rode in his photo Maybach on the way to the photo shoot.
That's pretty cool. So how was it, man? Was it all what it was
Nah,
all hyped up to be?
yeah, it was a nice car. The inside, everything was like it was crazy, and it was legit.
Wait, so was it just you by yourself, or a couple of you guys in there?
No, it was just me and Coach Napier. We had a little talk, and then
Okay.
to the photo shoot.
Really cool. Who got the ox? Y'all just chit chat. Nobody was bumping.
Yes, sir.
Dude, that's really cool, man. A little one-on time with Coach Billy, man. So, what were some things? I mean, like, and he kind of laid out for you. What were his game plans? I know through interviews and talk with other players, something that he's always kind of stood himself out was, look, they talked to you about how they're going to, place you and what the game plan is for you. Is that kind of that conversation, or more personal during the Maybach ride?
Then man, it's more personal. We were really
Okay.
talking about what we're gonna be doing, what he would do for me as far as being a Florida. If I would commit to Florida, we was just more so talking about personal. How's my life? Former teammates that I played with he used to recruit as far as Creed Whittemore, and Jaron Hamilton, Gavin. Talking about new kids as far as like Trish Johnson, um, just a few other kids.
Okay. Good stuff. Now, in your other conversations, have they had conversations with you how they, plan to utilize you?
Yes, sir.
What were some of those things that they talked about that really intrigued you? Of like, man, I can really see this being home in a couple for a couple of years.
Being a stand up edge, pretty much being a stand up edge and
You're good.
being a stand up and playing doing what I do now in high school. So now I run stunts and play games like that in high school. So pretty much everything they do at UF would be converting into like everything I do in high school would be converting into UF's kind of
Their scheme.
scheme. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
That's good. That's good to hear that you're already kind of getting warmed up like a preseason for college. And so what are you, obviously you're going into your senior year at Buchholz. What are some major goals for you that you have planned for yourself individually and for the team at Buchholz? What do you guys got lined up?
Definitely beating the sack record. I was 6.5 off from last season's. It's Chris Rump. He holds a sack record. So I didn't text him, but I tweeted and added him about it. And that unfortunately I didn't get to beat it last year, but that's definitely one of my goals. Definitely win state. Came up short 2 years in a row, being Final Four contenders. And just that's the two biggest goals right now.
Okay, so what is a sack record? So you're 6.5 away. What's the total number?
It was 19, so I needed 20.
Dang. So that's what you're coming after then. You're going after it. I
Yes,
love it.
sir.
I love it. There's no reason why you don't get it. I've got some we'll get some footage here, start pulling that up and kind of as we're chit-chatting some more. But then the nickname is Hollywood. Where did that
Yeah.
come from and who gave it to you?
My parents gave it to me. So just the way I carry myself and walk around, they call me Hollywood because the way I act. So it's not necessarily like, oh, he just goes people. It's like that's what most people get out of it when they see my nickname's Hollywood. No, it's just the way I act. I act goofy. The way I act around the house in public in general. I just act goofy as a bigger kid, just funny person.
Okay, I love it. So the parents gave you the nickname Hollywood. I love it. Typically, you get it from one of your boys or something like that. Okay, and so you kind of just ran with it and rock and roll with it then.
Yes, sir.
I love it, man. I love it. Um, Who has been the biggest push for you at Florida? Who's really been kind of coming after you, chit-chatting with you, recruiting you the most out of the coaching staff so far?
Coach Armstrong, Coach Peterson,
Okay.
definitely recruiting me, pushing me the hardest.
That's good to hear. Obviously, Armstrong being a new addition to the team. Talk to me about Armstrong, that relationship. I mean, we've seen plenty of videos. Were you there when he was singing Ignition? Were you in
Uh,
the
no, see, that was the parents thing.
that
That
was
was
just
the
the parents he was doing that with.
Yeah, that was the parents. So they had karaoke when we left with the host and UF players. So their parents had their little karaoke night on that Saturday night, and they had a blast apparently. From what I hear.
That's too cool. I didn't realize it was just the parent. I know one of the moms, down to Robinson mom, she posted it. I didn't realize it was just the parent. Okay, so you didn't get to see him break it down one time. All right, but how has it been? Like, kind of like give us some insight on Armstrong. I think a lot of the Gator fans would like to know. We obviously only get bits and pieces of him. How has that relationship been? Talking with him, getting to know him, has he really made a great impression on you so far?
Talking coach, yeah, he definitely has. He's to be one of the younger coaches in the game and a college league, and to have the mindset that he has and knowing football is like this is crazy. Me and coach talk a lot. He talks about his scheme and how he wants to use me. We talk about more personal stuff and just build that kind of great relationship with coach.
I love it. I love hearing that, man. It's good to hear. Chris Sorley in our chat here. We're live right now. He has a question. Do you plan to come to Friday Night Lights?
I'm not 100% sure yet. I have to check my schedule.
Okay.
And see how that all works out.
Okay. Well, if you are, I will. I'll be there. So hope to see you. Maybe we can get a photo if you do make it work out. Champagne has a question, man. He says, "What's your biggest moment at Florida?" I guess you can kind of take that as maybe just as a fan or maybe as a recruit. What's been kind of like a really aha moment for you, whether it was during the official or just during maybe a regular visit where you're like, man, this place really is setting the tone for you.
Um, hmm. I guess during the official getting to hang out with the current year players, that's really been a big moment to get to kind of connect with those guys and see how they react outside of football and in life, and see if this is the right group of people that I want to be around.
Very interesting. So what did they have you guys with like a certain group with other defensive linemen or kind of just a
So
mixture pot?
for the host, they kind of mix you up with the people that you're going to be kind of close to, talking to the most. And I had Cam Jackson, so that was my host. But pretty much after they told us we can go, all the recruits and all the players to pretty much hang around each other and talk and hang out and chill.
Okay, Cam Jackson, man, we've had him on here. He's a bubbly personality, man. He's too cool. So
Yeah.
so out of those recruits, who kind of did you really grab onto and kind of grab their ear and have a good conversation, and who really impressed you the most from the current roster? And not downplaying the other guys, it really kind of made a great impression on you. They're like, man, this is great. I would love to play next to this guy.
Cam definitely did. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely chilling with him the whole weekend, talking with him. Great guy, funny dude. Works hard and just somebody I see myself being around a lot.
I love it. They want to know too that in the chat. Harris wants to know: did you grow up a Gator fan? Being in Buell, I feel like you got to say yes, right?
I kind of did. It just so I kind of I won't say bandwagon. I did like UF. I did
Okay,
like UF a lot. Because my uncle coached there and played there,
sure.
and most of my family went to Florida, so I did. But when my uncle left, I kind of like switched back and forth between teams and stuff like that.
Who were the other teams, Kendall? We need to.
Like Miami.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. I
Oh.
forgot. I think he went to like Virginia State or something like that. It's just so that's
And
pretty
you
much.
have Miami in your top six. When do you plan on visiting them soon?
Yes, sir. That's my actually towards the end of the June. I'll be visiting him.
Okay. Now, where are you staying so far? Do we have like a ranking of who's in the lead of your recruiting so far? Of where you feel like I'm leaning this way? It's not over, obviously, because we're heading into August. But do you have a gauge, or is it pretty wide open so far still?
I've recently made a statement that Florida's leading.
Okay.
Obviously, as this OV did open to be my first OV, and then it was a great visit. So I did make that statement, and I'm obviously I'm not committing, but for them to be in the league, yeah, I said that.
Good stuff. Yeah, everyone thought that you were going to commit on here. I was like, guys, he's just coming on here to hang out. So confirm me he's not, just leading the way so far. Where does Texas lie? Do you have an official visit lineup for them as well? It's a big school. Obviously coming into the SEC as well.
I don't right now. Just me and the coaches really haven't talked the best right now, so just I don't know how that whole line of communication is and see how that's gonna go.
Okay, fantastic, man. Well, I would like to get you any kind of following you can, so let them know where they can follow you on Twitter, Instagram, things like that, so we can keep up with your recruitment, and hopefully we'll, first week of August, we'll all be tuned in.
Yes, sir. So on Twitter, you can follow me at _big.ken8. And then on Instagram, it's _IamHollywood. We have 2 main social media sites you can find me on, and I'll be going live on my Instagram. They're like on my OV weekend, so you can get a glimpse of the background, and not background, but behind the scenes, and see how everything is.
Awesome. That's really cool, man. And last question we played Madden on here sometimes. Ricky wants to know, are you nasty at Madden?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, we have to whip out the sticks. Look, man, the invitation is open. No matter where you commit, if you want a platform to commit on, you're more than welcome to come on here and announce it again. Wherever you want to go, I'll support you, man. I appreciate you giving us your time today, man, and coming on here. It's been a blast. Make sure you guys go follow Mr. Kendall Hollywood Jackson along his recruiting trail. Again, man, have a great time on all your visits. Again, we'll be following you, especially on your Instagram with your official visits. Hope you have a phenomenal time. But best of luck, man, and God bless, Bubba.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Bubba. All righty. Well, boys, hope you guys enjoyed that. I know that I did. Mr. Kendall Jackson there. Great young man. Looks like he's dialed in, ready to rock and roll. Great conversation. Really excited to see what he decides to do. Love hearing about his one-on-one visit with Billy Napier in the Maybach. That's really cool, I think. Just again, because we only saw the one photo from David Stone, right? So I wasn't sure. I heard about the noise of him driving guys around, doing the one-on-one stuff, similar to what Nick Saban does, right? I kind of came up with a video talking about that. So to get another insight that we didn't see pictures from that, interview, I'm sure Kendall wasn't the only guy that he sat one-on-one with and had a nice conversation with. So love that personal touch. I think it's great. I think it's good to show that connection, that genuine care about somebody, and I think that's what Billy was able to do there. So hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Make sure you guys drop a like, show some love, subscribe, and hopefully we'll get some more good news this weekend. You guys will see my face more often, but if not, we will be live Sunday, 7:35, so make sure you guys tune in for that. We're talking all things NFL. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. Love you.